Humayun. After the death of Babur, his son Humayun came on the throne of Delhi. Okay. His tenure was 1530 to 1540. Now see, when Humayun came in the throne of Delhi, at that time Mughals was not unified. Means it was Mughal kingdoms, or you say that dynasty was not being unified. For that reason, he was being opposed by two of his rivals. Okay, one was his own brother. His name was Bahadur Shah. He was ruling Gujarat. Okay, and second, Afghans. Afghans governor Sher Khan was also the opposed of Humayun. Okay. Humayun first gained control over Gujarat. First he won control of Gujarat and Malwa by defeating Bahadur Shah. That means first he defeated his own brother Bahadur Shah. Next he came to east. Okay, for Sher Khan. But as Sher Khan was one of the most ruling, okay, and he was the most powerful governor of from the Afghans, he defeated Humayun. Okay, see here. Humayun turned eastwards where Sher Khan had been straining his position. And what happened? See, now see, Battle of Chausa 1539 and Battle of Kannauj 1540. In these two battles, Humayun got defeated by Sher or by Sher Khan. Okay. Humayun was forced to flee first to Kabul and to Persia for 15 years. See, for 15 years, Humayun left Delhi and he was in different other countries. Okay. On that period, where Delhi throne was being captured by Sher Shah, that is the governor of Afghans. Okay. Sher Shah or Sher Khan, later on his name was turned into Sher Shah. He started one new dynasty, that is called Sur dynasty. He is also known as Sher Shah Suri. For that reason, he started the Sur dynasty. Okay, look at the in Delhi. See, Sher Khan ascended the throne in 1540 CE under the title of Sher Shah. Very important. The Sher Khan, the governor of Afghans, he was only a governor. Later on, strengthening his power, he started ruling Delhi. Okay, he came into the throne of Delhi and he has given a new dynasty, that was the Sur dynasty. Okay, he was a skilled administrator. He was very good, very efficient, and Indian history will always be remembered of Sher Shah because he has not only a skilled administrator, but he was also a good, or you can say achievements. He has done a lot of achievements that we are going to study this topic. Okay, see. Now see here, his major achievements. In the 5 years of his journey, he has done a lot of achievements. What are the achievements? Extension of the Sadat-i-Azam. Now it is known as Grand Trunk Route. It was earlier imperial route has been constructed by Mauryas. That has been like that only. Sher Shah also has constructed road. Okay, constructed the distance portion, or to make the journey very easy, to make the road distance, he has constructed one of the oldest and one of the longest road, that is called Grand Trunk Road. Okay, that road or this road connects India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Pakistan, different of the countries or different of the neighboring countries, you can say, especially Bangladesh or you can say Pakistan and India, that the distance between, to recover that, this road has been very helpful. Okay. Next you have the building of Sidis. Sidis is the, you can say, like a guest house. Okay. There in earlier the traveller used to come from different places, to make them stay in some of the residence, the Sidis was being made, and that was made by Sher Shah. Okay. Planting tree and digging well, that means to make the traveller more comfortable, he has made this Sidis. Okay. Next he has Sher Shah issued coins in silver and copper. The different metals, different kind of metallic coins was used. But when Sher Shah came onto the throne, he has renewed that with some of the silver and copper. Silver coins called rupiah. He has done the melting process. Melting process means a stamp. You started using the stamps. Okay. Silver coins like rupiah. Rupiah means, you know, like Indian currency. Now it is used in Indian currency. We say rupiah. The same way it was known as rupiah in that time. And gold coins, mohar. That's a stamp. Okay. And copper coins is a dam or paisa. So this has been coin that been used by, or that has been renewed by Sher Shah. Now see here. There was also a great pattern of art and architecture used unfortunately, this one of the greatest empire, okay, one of the greatest man, you can say, a warrior, you can say, had been in 1545, sorry, while having a siege to Tanjore fort, it is in UP, he was in a military command. At that period of time, he was dead. Okay, he was dead, and the end of the Suri dynasty. Then after that, what happened? Humayun returned. See, Humayun returned in 1555 to 1556. That means he was free for 15 years. Again he came back to Delhi in the throne of, again he started the Mughals. Okay, but he came to Delhi, he came to India. But for why? Because he died falling from the stage of his life. Neither he can rule the country, neither he can he can enjoy that fruitfulness of your empire business. But he was dead from the where he was died in 1556 internet. Okay. After that, his son Akbar came on to the throne of Delhi. So let us start Akbar. Now see, Akbar, probably known as Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. Okay. His tenure was 1556 to 1605 CE. That means Common Era. Now see, as after Humayun, his eldest son came on to the crown of Delhi. At that time, when Akbar came onto the throne, he was just 13 years. Okay, he was just 13 years. Like of his grandfather, he was also a very good and very skilled warrior. Okay, or you can say a very good emperor. Okay, 13 years under the guidance of Bairam Khan. Now see, Bairam Khan was a military commander. He was a very faithful person. Under of him only, Akbar has been learned many kind of skills. It not only helpful to become a good ruler, but also he was a very good warrior. Okay. Next, you can see here in 1556, Mughal forces under Akbar defeated the army of the Afghans. That means in 1556, first battle of Panipat was fought in 1526, right? That was fought between two of the rulers, that was Ibrahim Lodi and Babur. The second battle of Panipat was fought between 1556. Was between Akbar and who? Adil Shah. Okay, Adil Shah was the Afghan ruler. Among these two, when they fought, second battle of Panipat was took place. That is in 1556. After that, slowly, Akbar started conquering different of the states or different of the India. Mostly covered up. He has like from northern to from the central to from the Deccan side. He has covered up every parts of India. Okay, so let us learn now conqueror of Akbar. Now see the conquest of Akbar. He started his conquest from Malwa 1561 CE, then Gondwana in 1564 CE. After that, Chittor, the capital, he has conquered in 1568 CE. Next, after when he was capturing Chittor, Uday Singh, the ruler of Mewar, retreated to the hills where he built the city of Udaipur. It's a very important thing that after when Chittor was being conquered, at that time, Uday Singh, he fled from that part and on the hills of the, he went under the hills where he discovered one city that was known as Udaipur. Okay, so these are the conquest of Akbar. Dates are very important, children. You have to learn the dates. When this wars has been taken place, these dates are very important because history is only gets important when you learn the dates. History is nothing without the dates. So when you come across these terms, try to relate the terms or try to relate the dates. Okay. Next we have see in 1576 CE, Akbar managed to bring Gujarat, Bengal and almost whole of Rajasthan under his control. Not only this, Rajasthan is, you have Jaisalmer and you have Bikaner. This almost all the states was under his control. Okay. Akbar conquered Kabul in 1581 CE and Kashmir 1586 CE. That means from north, central, Deccan, everything has come under Akbar. Okay. So here is the conquest of Akbar. Next, in next class we will be learning Rajput's policy. He has issued a Rajput policy. As you know that there is always a clash between Mughals and Rajput. But when Jalaluddin Akbar came to the throne, at that time the Rajput has started a different policy. He has given alliance. Not only he has got married to the daughter of Rajputs, but also given some ministership. Okay, that will be learning in our next class. For that, today you have completed the Akbar part. Akbar part is very important. Akbar, Shershah and Babur. These all three things are very important. You learn the dates of different wars. Okay, and there are some of the books that is written by some of the rulers that we'll be discussing in our next class. Till then, you learn the things and complete your work. Take care. Bye bye.